I just read an article that Faizon Love just had his preliminary trial for throwing a credit card machine at a hotel receptionist's head. So then I look it up. Apparently, so this little video came on. They like, is this what you talking about? And I'm like, no, but let me see that anyway. This is a video of him assaulting a valet at an airport in 2017. And when I say he snatched this young man up and threw him to the ground like he was a boiled up piece of paper. So now this is a pattern. This is a pattern because this is a whole separate incident.
Faizon Love is sending out a hidden but deadly signal to everyone keeping tabs on his unfolding civil lawsuit. And trust me, he's not playing around. According to San Diego's local reports, prosecutors aren't holding back either. They've hit Love with felony assault with a deadly weapon. And to make things worse, the charge now comes with an enhancement because the alleged victim supposedly walked away with serious bodily injuries. This isn't just some minor misunderstanding. This is heavy. Love, of course, isn't letting that label stick without a fight. His response, a firm and loud, not guilty. Court insiders say the alleged victim recently took the stand and gave a tense testimony that painted Love as completely losing his cool. The story goes like this. He was told the hotel had no rooms left, despite having used a third-party booking app to secure one. That's when things allegedly spiraled. Witnesses claim the hotel staff tried everything to calm him down, but nothing worked. It's being said she and her co-workers were caught in the middle of a storm they didn't see coming. But here's where things get even more theatrical. Love isn't just sitting in silence letting the court of public opinion run wild. No, he's taken to Instagram to put out his own raw message, flipping the spotlight back on his side of the story. In a video he's seen posted up as a San Diego County Sheriff's bus rolls past. The timing couldn't have been more intentional. Almost like he was making a statement without even saying a word. And then when he does speak, he takes it to another level. Looking dead into the camera, Love sends out a direct call for backup. And not to just anybody. He's calling on DJ Pooh and Ice Cube, the masterminds behind the legendary Friday movie that made him a household name. To them, he says something that's got fans buzzing, a cryptic but loaded request that's got people wondering if this is about more than just a hotel room gone wrong. On Instagram, Faizon Love didn't just drop a random caption, he went straight for a line that carried weight. Come get Big Worm out. Fans of the classic Friday instantly knew the reference. Big Worm, his larger-than-life, unforgettable role from the cult movie. But this wasn't some playful throwback post. This was a statement, loud and clear, aimed right at the people paying attention to his legal battle. The timing wasn't lost on anyone either because just days earlier, a judge had ruled there was enough evidence to push Love's felony assault with a deadly weapon case further into the court system. That ruling alone turned the spotlight back on him and the internet started buzzing all over again. The court records are painting a picture that's hard to ignore. The accusation, Love allegedly reached over, grabbed a credit card reader from the hotel counter, and then threw it at the clerk, hitting her squarely on the side of the head. This wasn't some minor object either. Those machines are heavy, solid, and built to last. The way prosecutors tell it, it wasn't a slip of the hand. It was a deliberate throw in the middle of a heated confrontation. This decision to move forward wasn't rushed. In fact, it came after nearly a full day of testimony during what's known as a preliminary hearing. And the way witnesses describe it, things inside that courtroom felt tense from start to finish. The original incident report in the lawsuit doesn't hold back on details either. It says, Mr. Love was extremely upset. It was 0 to 100 real quick. Staff members allegedly heard him pressing them over and over asking, "Do you know who I am?" as if expecting the question alone to shift the outcome. But when it didn't, the report says the mood in the lobby turned almost electric with tension. The hotel clerk's testimony paints a dramatic picture. She says that after his repeated questions, Love locked eyes with her, then suddenly reached for the credit card machine, ripping it right off its base and flung it straight in her direction. She claims she didn't go to the hospital immediately, but just a few hours later, the pain and dizziness started to set in. Doctors, she says, diagnosed her with a concussion, and according to her, that was only the beginning of her troubles. She's now alleging that she's been left with ongoing health problems. Everything from severe headaches to an extreme sensitivity to light that still affects her daily life. She claims simple things like looking at a phone screen or stepping outside in the midday sun can leave her disoriented and in pain. To make matters worse, whispers around the courtroom suggest that this wasn't just about a hotel room mix-up. Some believe there's an underlying frustration Love might have been carrying, and when the booking app situation fell apart, it was the last straw. Whether or not that's true, the narrative coming from the witness stand is the same. The situation went from tense to dangerous in the blink of an eye, and the judge clearly feels there's enough here to keep the case alive. And with Love now leaning into his big worm persona on social media, it almost feels like he's trying to rally his own kind of street support, as if to remind everyone that this story isn't over, not in court and not in public opinion. Once the alleged victim's testimony wrapped, Faizon Love's defense attorney Mark Klagman wasted no time firing back. He immediately pointed out what he called glaring inconsistencies between what she told the court and what she told 911 operators and responding police officers the night the incident went down last August. His focus? The severity of her injuries. According to Klagman, her current claims don't quite match the version she gave in the heat of the moment, and that's a red flag he wants the court to notice. Klagman laid out his counter story for the judge, arguing that Love never targeted the woman directly. Instead, he says, Love tossed the credit card reader between two co-workers during the heated exchange, not straight at the alleged victim's head. In other words, his client wasn't aiming to injure her at all. But the prosecution pushed back, pointing out that all three hotel employees, the two co-workers and the alleged victim, told police they witnessed the incident and believed Love had attacked. Here's where things took a sharp turn in the courtroom. Klagman pulled out the body camera footage from the officers who responded that night. He played it back in real time, carefully highlighting moments in the video to see if the witnesses' accounts matched what actually happened. The footage became the center of attention as everyone in the room leaned in, watching, listening, dissecting every sound and movement. Then came the moment that had everyone murmuring. One of the co-workers admitted on the stand that they didn't actually see the card reader make contact with the alleged victim. Instead, they said they only heard the sound of it hitting the wall nearby. Klagman pounced on that detail, saying this should give the court serious pause about the strength of the prosecution's case. He called it an insufficiency of evidence issue, stressing that if even the witnesses can't confirm seeing the impact, the credibility of the story starts to fall apart. And then he took it a step further, questioning not just the evidence, but the alleged victim's motives. I think there's quite a bit of motivation for her to make this up, to exaggerate, he told the court, his words hanging heavy in the air. But the drama didn't stop there. According to NBC7 San Diego, Klagman also hinted that this might not be solely about justice. He noted that the alleged victim had filed a civil lawsuit against Love, seeking financial compensation for her medical bills and other claimed damages. In his view, that opened the door to the possibility that she had something more than legal accountability in mind, possibly a payout. The courtroom shifted uncomfortably at that insinuation, and the tension between both sides was palpable. Alongside her claims of physical injury, the alleged victim says she's been dealing with emotional pain ever since that night, and she's putting it all in writing in her civil lawsuit against Faizon Love. She's not just asking for her medical expenses to be covered, she's going after damages that, if granted, could hit Love's pockets hard. This is now a two-front battle for him, one in criminal court and another in civil court, each with the potential to damage his career and reputation in a big way. But for Love, the latest blow came straight from the judge. After reviewing witness testimony, video evidence, and all the details presented so far, the court has officially ruled there is probable cause to move forward. That means Love is now locked in for a full criminal trial, scheduled for January 2026. And if the jury sides with the prosecution, the stakes couldn't be higher. He's looking at up to 7 years behind bars, 7 years that could completely change the course of his life. For someone with Love's public persona, this trial isn't just about the law, it's about legacy. Fans are now split right down the middle. Some are swearing by his innocence, pointing to the inconsistencies in witness accounts. Others believe the alleged victim's story and say this could be the biggest legal downfall of his career. And while the courtroom prepares for a showdown, Love's reaction, from his Instagram posts to his courtroom demeanor, has people debating whether he's fighting for justice or fanning the flames of controversy. With the trial date locked in and the possibility of prison time hanging over his head, the countdown to January 2026 has officially begun. The question now isn't just whether Love will walk free, it's whether the public will ever look at Big Worm the same way again.